Great, Arash. Thanks so much for having me.
For sure. So you're a filmmaker among other things. I want to talk about this ordinary thing, and I want to start off by saying it's doubly ironic because the actions are not ordinary, and this is not an ordinary thing. It's not an ordinary film. It's really well made. So what would you say about that? This ordinary thing?
Well, thank you for saying it's not an ordinary film. When we hit upon the title, which comes from a quote that one of the rescuers who is honored and whose stories we tell, it really landed with me because I realized for these people who were doing these things, risking their lives to help people who were different than them, who were risking their children's lives in some cases, and just just mind-blowing acts of what we would call courage or heroism. To them, it was just part of what you did. It was just part of life. There's a knock on the door. Hey, can you help me? He was a friend, and to our amazement, he was a Jew. Like we didn't even know. Or somebody else, voiced by that one is a Lily Tomlin one, but David Hyde Pierce, he voices one where the person says, you didn't care whether they were Catholic or Jewish or Eskimos. They were persecuted people, and you had to help them. And so the 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 title comes from when one of them years later is honored at Yad Vashem in Jerusalem, when they plant a tree in their honor as part of the Avenue of the Righteous, or the Righteous Among the Nations. He says to the director of Yad Vashem, I didn't really do that much. You shouldn't make that big a deal out of me. And the director says, yeah, but all you guys say the same thing. And if that's true, then why didn't everybody do this ordinary thing? And that's sort of the essence of the film is,
Yeah.
why didn't everybody? And what would you do? And what would I do? I mean, it's not an easy question. It's not a comfortable question. And there's no judgment to it, but it's impossible to listen to these stories without thinking, yeah, what would I do?
And I love that because it's the personal dimension of it. First of all, you're focusing on the good people, and I think that's really important because there were a lot of people who risked their lives. I mean, the stakes are extremely high. These are not Oscar Schindlers, these are ordinary people, right? Oscar Schindler had money and means and influence. These are just regular people. So
Yeah.
getting that glimpse into the daily life and what they went through, not just here risking their lives, but even on a daily basis of the outhouses. I never thought of that. You have to
No,
take
yeah.
out, so those are details that brings us into their lives, and we realize on both sides how much people suffered and how difficult it was.
Yeah, yeah, it was really difficult, and that's thank you for mentioning the outhouses because I do feel like the goal was this sort of to get at the quotidian daily life and the ordinariness and we asked the archival producers and the editor Josh Freed, like, who's also a great archival researcher, like, we want to find just ordinary footage, like footage of Europeans doing ordinary things, swimming in a lake or riding their motorcycle or playing by the side of a road or twirling in a little skirt to show off a skirt. You
Mm,
know,
yeah,
that's what we wanted to show because these acts on both sides, the good
definitely.
acts and the evil acts, the banality of evil and this ordinary thing, it's all just being done by human beings. And to underscore that and get at the essential shared humanity of all of these people, which is more easily done through the sort of specific quotidian thing of, Mama didn't like doing darning the socks, so the Jews said, "Well, can we darn the socks for you?" And it's like thinking about how the lives actually went along. That really was the goal and what was so mind blowing about these stories.
And it resonates with us as viewers. I mean, we are again thrown into that kind of life and what they were going through, as well as how you're presenting it. That's my second thing. That it's not an ordinary film; it's an extraordinary one because I love how you're using cinematic approaches. Again, those images, as well as novelistic ones. I mean, reads like feels like a novel. You have chapters, and the chapters are related to what's happening. And then also the footage of the very people there and their pictures, and then all these famous actors who are thrown in there. I mean, there's like so much in this space that you're exploring. So how did that feel putting that all together? And I think you're also, like myself, involved in improv or have tried that. That has helped my teaching a lot. How does it help
Uh-huh.
you as a filmmaker too?
Yeah, well, that's interesting. I think it helps because, well, let's start with the actors.
Hmm.
So, first, when I first started working on the film and conceived of it, and it happened almost in a a burst of like realizing there's all these transcripts. Let's go through the transcripts, put a script together, find footage that is colorful and vital and alive and current feeling, and get actors to read these scripts. It sort of felt like, I don't know if this is going to work. So I went to friends of mine, people I'd in some cases done improv with, and said, "Hey, you want to read a voice or two in this thing and help me on this project? And you take 20 minutes and just read it into an iPhone or whatever." And so that's how I built the film originally. And my wife and partner in our production company, Series of Dreams, which we are launching with this film and another, um, she said, "Okay, when are you going to get real actors?" And the more the film became real and sort of like an edit started to sort of shapes and it started to emerge, the more insistent she was, like, "Look, your friend Eric, he was great, but maybe we could get some real actors. This is a real thing." And so at a certain point, we went out to the agencies and sent out all these requests. And in a way, sort of after we didn't hear anything for a couple of months, I stopped thinking about it. And I think it had been 3 or 4 months. And we were starting to sort of head towards the finish line and really needed to wrap it up. When we get a phone call out of the blue saying, Dame Helen Mirren wants to be in your film. And so then, I mean, it was mind blowing. And the next thing you know, if she's in it, well, then it becomes a real thing. And so other actors were like, "Oh, yeah, I'll do this." And honestly, within 2 or 3 weeks, we had this extraordinary cast. Um,
Amazing cast. And
I
it kind
mean,
of snowballed, I guess, after that. And
yeah,
but
well,
it
the
doesn't
floodgates open,
distract.
and
I mean,
yeah.
it's not distracting, which I found amazing. And I thought, like, why not the original people? But then I thought, no, because this is so like they're actors. They really know how to present those emotions, and it becomes again much more impacts us on a deeper level because of that.
Oh, well, that's great. Yeah, I mean, that was the goal. I mean, some of the original interviews, which are all at the U.S. Holocaust Museum, I mean, all of them were recorded, but a lot of them were not recorded that well, or the people were speaking another language. And in some ways, it's more distancing than actually having an extraordinary actor bring it to life.
Hmm.
So the end result is something that feels more immediate and in some ways even more truthful than a scratchy recording from the 1980s where you're distracted. Like you just never want to distract an audience. And so that was part of the aim.
And it shows the humanity. I mean, there's another documentary that I had the pleasure of to talk to the filmmaker, Syndrome K, about this fictitious disease that this hospital in Rome created that Jews were afflicted with. So the Nazis were, it was very contagious, supposedly, and Nazis stayed out of that place, and they saved a lot of people through that. And I think really in these moments of intense pressure, of suffering, that's when our humanity shines too. And I think that
Yes.
really comes out for some, others not, but
Yeah.
then people become inventive of helping others. And you show various cases of that, personal stories that they really put people in a couch and hide them there or create this extra
Yeah.
room. I mean, just like that's amazing how that all comes together for
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. I mean, yes, this kid who's hiding in the couch and he's got a cough, and so she's got to give him codeine, and you can't cough if you're hiding in that couch. And then the German soldier comes in and says, "How do I know you're not hiding someone on the couch? And I'm going to shoot your couch." And she says, "Fine, shoot it, but I want you to write down on a piece of paper that you will repair this couch." And he's like, "All right, forget it," and he leaves. I mean, it's amazing.
And that's why I mean cinematic. It reminded me of Inglourious Bastards, with
Yes.
Tarantino, but real life
Yeah.
examples of that.
Yeah.
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 Wonderful. Thank you so much, Nick Davis, for being on Arash's World, for talking about this amazing documentary, this ordinary thing. Best of luck with it, and yeah,
Thank you so much.
best of luck to you too.
In New York, December 5th, and drops nationwide on VOD, March 31st.
And it's highly recommended. Yeah, I loved
Thank
it.
you. Thanks so much, Arash. Great meeting you.
Thank you. Thank